Google AdWords is one of those tools for online marketers and advertisers that is easy to get started with, but very hard to master. While you can start with Google AdWords campaigns fairly quickly, you are almost never sure if your campaigns are performing at their very best. That is, with the highest possible conversion rate at the least possible cost. Moreover, it is important to understand that most of your competitors will be employing the same basic tips and tricks. So if you want to sneak ahead of your competitors, this will require of you something different, something a little bit extra. And that's what we'd like to share with you today. Here are 5 advanced Google AdWords tips and tricks that online marketers rarely use for their search engine marketing campaigns, but that you can and should. Now that said, if you find that this video is a little too advanced for you in terms of AdWords knowledge, then maybe you'd like to start with our article on Google AdWords tips and tricks for intermediate level marketers. But without further ado, for advanced tips, here's number 1, in-market audiences. It's no secret that Google has a ton of data on everyone. They know what you like, they know what you are searching for, they know exactly what you click on. Under their hood, they've got not only the Google search engine, but Google Analytics, Google Search Console, Google Optimizer, and Google AdWords, among many other tools that consistently feed them with all this various data. In short, they know everything about you, as well as the audience you're trying to target with your pay-per-click marketing campaigns. Now, what do you think Google does with all that data? To an extent, Google simply collects a lot of that information so that it can be offered to online advertisers, which means you. And as an online marketer, you can use that wealth of information to take your ad campaigns to the next level. A recent feature in Google AdWords, in-market audiences, allows you to look beyond the basic demographic options and target people that are in the market for a specific product. Google determines that group of audiences based on their behavior on the internet, which Google tracks, of course. With this feature, you can target specific audiences like these, for example. A pro tip: understand and target these in-market audiences on top of your keywords that you are already targeting for maximum effectiveness. Tip number 2, AdWords dynamic ads. Have you ever run remarketing ads? These are great, and they have the ability to significantly increase conversions. Any online marketer worth his salt would recommend remarketing ads. However, there is just one problem with them. When it comes to online e-commerce stores with dozens and dozens of products, you can run a remarketing campaign and end up serving ads without knowing the exact product the visitor looked for on your website. And if it is the wrong one, this of course pretty much kills the whole purpose of retargeting. For instance, suppose that you have a general online store like Amazon, a visitor looks at a pressure cooker on your website, but then you run a remarketing ad showing her the beautiful nightgown you have in your store. Doesn't make sense, right? Google AdWords allows you to do product-specific marketing. You can identify the specific products that people looked up, and then serve a relevant ad for the best possible results. To access a step-by-step guide by Google on how to set up dynamic ads, just, Google it. And you should be able to find their guide right here. Tip number 3, schedule ads strategically. Imagine this: you run a campaign to generate more leads for your business. You want people to pick up the phone and inquire about a certain product or service that you are offering. A prospect sees the ad, becomes a hot lead, and picks up the phone and dials the number. The only problem is that where your office is located, it's 2 in the morning, and there's no one there to pick up the phone. Now that's a wasted opportunity. Furthermore, that lead was hot at 2 in the morning, but the next morning, chances are that the person may not feel the exact same urgency as before. Their burning need becomes just a passive query at best when the opportunity is missed. Now they're a warm, or a lukewarm, or a downright tepid lead. That is why ad scheduling is such an important factor for successful ad campaigns. In fact, there are multiple reasons to schedule your ads. Just 2 of these reasons are, obviously, that you need to schedule your ads to align them with your office hours. So if you're working with a different time zone, for example, you have an office in Berlin while you are targeting people in the US, then it's a wise idea to schedule your ads to run so that calls aren't coming in during normal business hours in the States, but at all bizarre hours of the night on your side when there's no one home. Or if you have determined that your audience, for one reason or another, responds more during certain hours, then you should schedule your ads to run accordingly. Google AdWords allows you to do that if you browse to advanced campaign settings. Tip number 4, IP exclusions. Now, whatever industry or niche you are in, you should know that sadly there is more than a 95% chance that your competitors are clicking on your ads. You'd be surprised and likely quite angry to know just how many of them do that, the jerks. As a result, your numbers are skewed, you bear more costs, and more often than not, you end up killing your campaigns because of their high cost per click coupled with their low conversion rate. Not your fault, nothing to do with your ad content or strategy, just good old-fashioned grade A sabotage. Or for less nefarious motivations, maybe just pride in their work or curiosity, maybe some of your employees end up clicking on your ads. You don't want that either. And that's where the heavenly glow of IP exclusions comes in. The trick is simple. Just identify your competitors' IP addresses, or for instance, the IP of your employee's office, and then block those IPs from being served your ads. There are plenty of easy how-tos out there on how to find IP addresses if you need help doing that. It's actually pretty simple. You can find IPs through most email clients, or in a lot of cases, you can simply run terminal or the Windows command prompt on any computer connected to the internet, ping a competitor's website, and voila, you can usually find their IP that way. Once you've got your IP or IPs to exclude, just find IP addresses exclusion in your AdWords account settings and paste them in. Your competitors, or employees in this case, won't be able to find and click your ads anymore. Tip number 5, managing display network campaigns. While many digital marketers pay a lot of attention to search network campaigns, display network campaigns rarely get the same kind of love. They are often started and neglected soon after. But that's a mistake, and you have to make sure that you are not falling into that trap. When used correctly, display network campaigns can drive a lot more traffic, a lot more conversions, and much more brand awareness than search network campaigns can, depending of course on your specific business type, your niche, and your target audience. However, to leverage this power, you'll need to ensure that you carefully manage your display network campaigns to get the most out of them. And one important aspect of doing that is to leverage all the topic targeting options that you have at your disposal. There are over 1,700 categories and subcategories to choose from, which will allow you a much more granular level of control on which types of web pages your ads are displayed on. Context is important after all if you want to make sales and convey the right type of message. In short, you can and should vigilantly inspect the web pages that your display ads appear on. If there's a web page that has no business showing your ad, and if it doesn't add any value to your marketing goals, then simply remove that web page. Google allows you that option. With the help of the placement report, Google AdWords shows you the web pages that your ads appear on. The placement report also allows you important metrics, such as impressions, clicks, conversions, and so on, so that you can make more informed and data-driven business decisions. So be sure to peruse that list and weed out all the bad web pages that have nothing to do with helping you fulfill your marketing goals. And no, the number of impressions and clicks alone are not your marketing goals. You want good clicks, serious clicks, conversions. With managed placement, you can take much better control over your Google AdWords display network campaigns and stop paying for junk traffic that isn't doing anything to justify your ad spending. Now, it goes without saying that each business is different, so not all of these tactics may work for you. But go ahead and pursue these ideas to see which of these advanced tips and tricks work for your business and your target audience.